Hello students, how are you? Today's topic is a grouping of capacitors. Now, whenever we are talking of a grouping of capacitors, you are having already the idea with the resistors from earlier classes, right? These are the symbol of resistors, right? Now, two resistors can be connected serially or can be connected parallelly. What is series, what is parallel connection? The idea is necessary. Anyway, you might have forgotten, that's why I am clarifying it. But I am clarifying it in terms of capacitors. Here what you said, this resistor, these two resistors are in parallel with each other. Now, the resultant of these two resistors are one resistor which is in series with this resistor and this resistor. This is just one recap what you might have learned already from your earlier classes. Now I am telling the same thing in terms of capacitors. So parallel combination and second type of a connection is the series combination. So parallel combination, the symbol of a capacitor is this, two parallel lines, parallel plate capacitor. Let us say I am showing three capacitors in parallel, but any number of capacitors may be connected in parallel, right? I am showing only three. And series combination also I am showing three capacitors only are in series. Now what we are going to calculate is if capacitors are connected in a series or in a parallel, what is the effective capacitance? Now whenever imagine that these capacitors are connected in a parallel, let us think that this entire system acts like one capacitor only. Individually, let us say the capacitance of this capacitor is C1, this is C2, this is C3, and the effective capacitance of a C1, C2, C3 when connected in a parallel is, let us say, C effective I am writing. Okay, for parallel combination I am explaining first. C effective is the effective capacitance of okay, of these three. Then see, whenever these, let me show it, I need space. Let us say this is charged with a battery. Okay, now whatever charge is given to this, from here that charge will be distributed in all the three, right? Let us say charge on capacitor C1 is Q1, charge on capacitor C2 is Q2, and charge on the capacitor C3 is Q3. Let us say one thing is common for all, that in parallel combination the potential everywhere are same. In fact, let us say this point is A and this point is B, then the potential difference between A and B are same. So if you follow this path, if you follow the path like this, through this path, if you are looking at through C1 from A to B, the potential difference will be same. Through C2, if you will see, the potential difference is same. Through C3, if you will see, also potential difference is the same. Okay, now whatever charge is supplied to these capacitors, that charge only has got distributed all over, right? So what we can say is Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus and so on, right? Now if we will divide throughout by V, potential implies that Q by V is equal to Q1 by V plus Q2 by V plus Q3 by V plus so on. Now what is Q by V? You remember C is equal to Q by V, we had found. So if this entire combination of capacitors is equivalent to one capacitor only, that capacitance which we call C effective is equal to Q1 by V is C1, isn't it? For capacitor 1, C1 is equal to Q1 by V. So C1, similarly Q2 by V is C2 plus Q3 by V is C3 and so on. This means if C1, C2, C3, any n number of capacitors are connected in a parallel, the net capacitance is simply the algebraic sum of all these. Clear? Now we will take the case of a series combination of capacitors. Okay. Now let us say charge and this and is earthed as always. Now see, if charge Q is supplied over here, this side will become plus Q and this side will become minus Q, right? Now if this side has become minus, this is plus Q, this will be minus Q, and that's why this is a plus Q and this will be minus Q, this will be plus Q, and so on. How many ever capacitors are there? Plus Q, minus Q, plus Q, minus Q. Now we have understood that the charge on the positive plate only is said to be the charge on the capacitor, right? So what is the charge on capacitor C1? Let us say this capacitor is C1, this is C2, this is C3, and so on. Then what is the charge on capacitor C1? That's a Q. Charge on capacitor C2 also is Q. Charge on capacitor C3 also is Q. So whatever charge is supplied, the same is the charge throughout. But what is changing here? Let us say V is the potential which is supplied to all of them. But what is the potential drop across the first capacitor? That is, let us say V1, V2, and potential drop across the capacitor 3 is V3, and so on. Then in this case, what we can say, V must be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus so on. Okay. Now we know that C is equal to Q by V, implies that V is equal to what? Q by C, right? Now if all these capacitors together behave like one capacitor only, then what will be the capacitance of that entire system? We will call effective capacitance. Fine. Then now V is equal to Q by C. For V, what we can write? The total charge given divided by, if this entire thing is considered to be one capacitor, the capacitance of that effective capacitance is equal to, what is V1? For capacitor C1, what is V1? Isn't it a Q by C1? C1 is different, but Q is same. So for V1, what we can write? Q by C1. Similarly, it's a Q by C2. For C2 also, charge is a Q only divided by C2 plus Q by C3 plus so on. Implies that what we can conclude, see, Q everywhere we can take common and that Q will get cancelled with this Q. So what we can write, 1 by C effective is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 plus so on. Clear to everybody? Now if we write it one place, and let us write for two capacitors only, because if there are multiple capacitors which are in a parallel connection, what we can say is these two are in parallel, and we'll find the resultant of those two, and the effective capacitance of these two is in parallel with this. So first these two we can take, and this entire thing can be taken with of this. So always two capacitors we can deal with while doing the numericals effectively. So let us imagine series combination of two capacitors and parallel combination of two capacitors. So this is C1, C2 connected like this, and parallel C1, C2 connected like this. Now see, this is the just the formula to remember quickly, but it is same as if it is in connected in a series, it is 1 by C effective is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2, it will be, right? So take LCM C1 C2, then it will be C1 plus C2, right? Now this is 1 by C effective, so C effective is equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, right? So we can say C effective or effective capacitance of two capacitors C1 C2 when connected in series is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. and the effective capacitance when two capacitors of a capacity C1 and C2 are connected in parallel is C effective is equal to C1 plus C2. Simple. Fine. This combination, parallel combination, then energy stored. Energy stored in a capacitor. So this was what E is equal to half CV square is equal to Q square by 2C is equal to half QV. You remember this formula we had studied in the previous session. So taking the grouping of capacitor, that is series combination, parallel combination idea, along with that taking the idea of energy stored, we are going to do one numerical. Now let us take up this question where a network is given where there is one EMF of 6 volt and the capacitors are connected like this, 1 microfarad, 1 microfarad, all the rest of the three are 2 microfarad each, and it is asked to calculate the total energy stored in the given network. Now if there is only one capacitor and there is a voltage supply, then if we know the capacitance of that capacitor and what is the voltage, so we know that energy stored in the capacitor is equal to half CV square. We know this, but if that would be easy if there was one capacitor only. However, here one network is given. What we need to do is we have to find out the net capacitance of this entire system, entire network, and which a particular capacitor which will be equivalent to this entire network. After calculating the net capacity of this network, again half CV square simply we have to put to get the answer. Okay, now see, these two, this capacitor and this capacitor are in a series, right? Now let me clarify the series. You know already, series is the last. See, these two capacitors are set in series because the right side plate of the capacitor 1 is connected to the left part of the capacitor 2. That's why this is in series. However, if both the left parts are connected to one side and the other two parts are connected to the other part of the cell, in this case this is called parallel connection. Here also you imagine the two sides are connected between a cell. Now the left part is connected to the cell, right part is connected to the left part of the other cell, whereas the right part of the second capacitor is connected to the left end of the battery. So this is series connection, this is a parallel connection, and you don't have any doubt on that. However, so from that idea you clearly can see that this capacitor and this capacitor are in a series. Remember the formula. If two capacitors C1 C2 are connected in parallel, then C effective capacitance C is equal to C1 plus C2, and if two capacitors are connected in a series, then it is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, and energy stored in a capacitor is equal to half CV square. These formulae we are going to use in this numerical. Now see here, this 2 microfarad and this 2 microfarad, these two are in a series. If two are in a series, what is the net capacitance of the capacitor? 2 into 2 by 2 plus 2, that is 1 microfarad, right? So this much we can replace by a single capacitor of 1 microfarad, right? Single capacitor of 1 microfarad, right? Now clearly we can say that this 1 microfarad and this 1 microfarad, these two are in parallel. So if there is parallel combination, then simply C1 plus C2 will be the answer. So these two will act as if one capacitor of a capacitance 2 microfarad. So what we did is we can connect 1 2 microfarad. Clear? Now this 2 microfarad is in series with this 2 microfarad, right? So these two are like one capacitor of capacitance. Again, since this is in series, 2 into 2 by 2 plus 2, that's 1 microfarad again. So this is same as taking 1 microfarad in parallel. This is 1 equivalent to 1 microfarad, and this 1 microfarad is in parallel with this 1 microfarad. Then if a parallel combination is there, it is C1 plus C2. So it is something like 1 plus 1, 2 microfarad. So this entire network is just like as if it is 2 microfarad it will act. Now this entire network is reduced to one single capacitor which is having 2 microfarad capacity. Now you put the energy is equal to half CV square. Now energy of the circuit E is equal to half CV square, right? Is equal to half, what is C? 2 microfarad. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad V square. V is a 6 volt given in the question, so 6 into 6. So this is equal to how much? 2 got cancelled. 36 into 10 to the power minus 6. What is the SI unit of energy? Joules. So this is the answer. Clear to everybody? Now let us take up this question where there are a pair of capacitor. Let us say this is a C1 and a C2. Not let us say this is given. C1 is filled with one dielectric of a dielectric constant K, and a C2 as shown in the picture, upper half is filled with one dielectric of a dielectric constant K1, and the lower half is filled with one dielectric of a dielectric constant K2. Now the condition is if the capacitance of this combination, capacitance of this capacitor is same as the capacitor or capacitance of this combination. So what is the capacitance of C1 is the same as capacitance of C2 even after this arrangement, then obtain the relationship between K1 and K2 is the question. Now simply directly if you write what is the capacitance of this side, K epsilon naught A divided by D, right? A is given to be the surface area of this plate and D is the gap between the parallel plates, right? And what is the capacitance of this side combination? Now you can think that the upper part is one capacitor and lower part is one capacitor, and these two capacitors are in a parallel with each other. So what is the surface area here? A by 2 and A by 2, right? So what we can put first, capacitance of the upper half plus capacitance of the lower half, because in a parallel combination it is simple algebraic sum. So you write it is K1 epsilon naught A by 2 D, right, plus K2 epsilon naught A by 2 by D, right? Now this entire combination, this remains same as this. Capacitance is still same. This is given in the question. So this much is equal to this much. Now you see epsilon naught got cancelled. A got cancelled, D got cancelled, and we directly got the relationship between them. Therefore K is equal to half of K1 plus K2. This is what was asked in the question. Clear to everybody? Now let us take up another question where there is one capacitor where this is not filled with any medium or a free space. We can think there's a free space, so it is having some capacity. Now if that capacity is divided into two parts, and the left part is filled with one dielectric of a dielectric constant K1 and the right part is filled with one dielectric of a dielectric constant K2, then what is C2 is the question. C2 is equal to how much is the question simply. Now see, if you can imagine that the left part is one capacitor and right part is one capacitor, and two capacitors are in a series, and if two capacitors are in a series, we have the formula 1 by C2 is equal to capacitor of this side 1 by capacitor of this side plus 1 by capacitor of this side, right? So 1 divided by capacity of this side is K1 epsilon naught A is the same only, A by D. D became D by 2 now, right? So divided by D goes up by 2. Directly I can write this, right? Everybody understand? Plus, similarly, it's D by 2 K2 epsilon naught A. Okay? Implies that, so this much is equal to, see, D by 2 epsilon naught A are common, right? So D by 2 epsilon naught A take common. What remains? 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2, right? So this is equal to D by 2 epsilon naught A. Take LCM K1 K2. So this is K1 plus K2 divided by K1 K2. However, this much is equal to 1 by C2. But how much is C2 we need to calculate, right? Therefore, C2 is equal to, take it up, 2 epsilon naught A by D. This also will be reversed, multiplied by K1 K2 by K1 plus K2. Now see, what is epsilon naught A by D? See, what is C1, right? C1 is equal to simply epsilon naught A by D. This we know already, right? Now for epsilon naught A by D, we can put a C1. Therefore, C2 is equal to C1 is 2, I am writing here, 2 K1 K2 by K1 plus K2. So this is the answer to this question. Hope this session remained useful. Thank you everybody.